everyone, Costume Teacher here, and I'm here today to read to you Chapter 6 of Mr. Popper's Penguins, which is called More Troubles. Imagine that. He's having a little trouble with this penguin in his house. Huh. All right, before we begin, there are some vocabulary words that I want to make sure you are familiar with as we read the chapter. The first word is municipal. Can everyone say municipal? That means city government. Okay, and the next word is ordinance. Can everyone say ordinance? That means a law. Perhaps he's going to find out if there is an ordinance about having a penguin. And then our final word is outraged. Can everyone say outraged? When you're outraged, that means you are angry. Yep, been there, done that. Haven't we all? Hopefully no one is feeling like that today. All right. Well, if you are following along with a copy of the book with me, this chapter starts on page 37. If not, just listen and enjoy. All right. Chapter 6, More Troubles. The children were the first to notice the policeman. "Look, Papa," said Bill. "There's a policeman at the back door. Is he going to arrest you?" "Gook," said Captain Cook, walking with dignity to the door and trying to poke his beak through the screen. "Is this 432 Proudfoot Avenue?" "It is," answered Mr. Popper. "Well, I guess this is the place, all right," said the policeman and pointed to Captain Cook. "Is that thing yours?" "Yes, it is," said Mr. Popper, proudly. "And, what do you do for a living?" asked the policeman sternly. "Papa is an artist," said Janie. "He's always getting paint and calcimine all over his clothes," said Bill. "I'm a house painter, a decorator," said Mr. Popper. "Won't you come in?" "I won't," said the policeman, "unless I have to." "Ha ha," said Bill. "The policeman is afraid of Captain Cook." "Gaw!" said the penguin, opening his red beak wide as if he wanted to laugh at the policeman. "Can it talk?" said the policeman. "What is it? A giant parrot?" "It's a penguin," said Janie. "We keep it for a pet." "Well, if it's only a bird," said the policeman, lifting his cap to scratch his head in a puzzled sort of way. "From the way that fellow with the tool bag yelled at me outside, I thought there was a lion loose in here." "Mama says Papa's hair looks like a lion's sometimes," said Bill. "Keep still, Bill," said Janie. "The policeman doesn't care how Papa's hair looks." Bill is offering up a lot of information that maybe isn't necessary. The policeman now scratched his chin. "If it's only a bird, I suppose it'll be okay if you keep him in a cage." "We keep him in the icebox," said Bill. "You can put it in the icebox for all I care," said the policeman. What kind of bird did you say it was?" "A penguin," answered Mr. Popper. "And, by the way, I might want to take him walking with me. Would it be all right if I kept him on a leash?" "I tell you," said the policeman, "honestly, I don't know what the municipal ordinance about penguins is, with or without a leash on public streets. I'll ask my sergeant." "Maybe I ought to get a license for him," suggested Mr. Popper. "Certainly big enough for a license," said the policeman. "I tell you what to do. You call up City Hall and ask them what the ruling about penguins is. And, good luck to you, Popper. He's, kind of a cute little fellow at that. Looks almost human. Good day to you, Popper. And a good day to you, Mr. Penguin. When Mr. Popper telephoned the city hall to see about a license for Captain Cook, the penguin did his best to disconnect the telephone by biting the green cord. Perhaps he thought it was some new kind of eel. But just then, Mrs. Popper came back from the market and opened a can of shrimps so that Mr. Popper was soon left alone with the telephone. Even so, he found it was not so easy to learn whether or not he must get a license for his strange pet. Every time he would explain what he wanted, he would be told to wait a minute, and much later a new voice would ask him what he wanted. This went on for a considerable time. At last, a new voice seemed to take a little interest in the case. Pleased with this friendly voice, Mr. Popper began again to tell about Captain Cook. Is he an army captain, a police captain, or a navy captain? He is not, said Mr. Popper. He's a penguin. Will you repeat that, please? Said the voice. Mr. Popper repeated it. The voice suggested that perhaps he better spell it. Penguin, said Mr. Popper. Penguin. Oh, said the voice. You mean that Captain Cook's first name is Benjamin? Not Benjamin. Penguin. It's a bird, said Mr. Popper. Do you mean, said the phone in his ear, that Captain Cook wishes a license to shoot birds? I'm sorry. The bird hunting season does not open until November. And please try to speak a little more distinctly, Mr. Topper, did you say your name is? Who can relate to this? Oh, who doesn't love calling customer service and then you can't hear each other? I'm just getting annoyed even reading about it. My name is Popper, not Topper, shouted Mr. Popper. Yes, Mr. Potter. Now I can hear you quite clearly. Then listen, roared Mr. Popper, now completely outraged. Understandably so, right? If you folks at the city hall don't even know what penguins are, I guess you haven't any rule saying they have to be licensed. I will do without a license for Captain Cook. Just a minute, Mr. Popwell. Our own Mr. Treadbottom of the Bureau of Navigation of Lakes, Rivers, Ponds, and Streams has just come in. I will let you speak to him personally. Perhaps he knows this Benjamin Cook of yours. In a moment, a new voice was speaking to Mr. Popper. Good morning. This is the Automobile License Bureau. Did you have the same car last year? And if so, what is the license number? Mr. Popper had been switched over to the county building. He decided to hang up. I think I would have done that a while ago, but here we are. All right, and that is chapter 6. So the lesson there is sometimes customer service calls don't go how you think they will. Maybe, I don't know. Well, he's not sure if he needs to have a license for his penguin, but I guess we will find out what he's going to do with said penguin in the next chapter. All right, thanks for tuning in. I will see you next time for chapter 7. Bye, everybody.